Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. And we are going to close out today the year of 1987, heading into the final year. Available on the network in 1988. The whole process should be done by, my goal is next Monday, a week from tomorrow. Don't know how that's going to work out. But anyway, we open with, talk about some crazy stuff. The Thing versus Rick Hazard. Rick Hazard has been a referee around the area for a while, not really understanding the benefit of the concept of the Thing. They seem to push this pretty hard over the next couple of months, or at least through the end of the year, the next 6 to 8 episodes. Killer Tim Brooks has brought the Thing with him. He's on a leash. I mean, I guess they're going for kind of like George the Animal Steel type vibe. He's on a leash and collar. He's pouring powder into his hands, kind of doing some crazy stuff. And it's clear that he's got something going on mentally. Rick Hazard, as mentioned, was a referee. And then, the Thing goes for a series of punches, kicks, it's almost missing link type stuff. Offense that any wrestling school student could have put forward. Think like the Boogeyman. Think like, it's just very, very basic stuff. And I guess I get the gimmick. A crazy character. But I don't know that this gets over with a national audience. I don't know that this is over at all. He uses a sleeper and a nerve hold combination. Hazard comes back to his feet. At this point, they do have the ESPN logo in the background, so I guess this would have been on ESPN. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'm not sure where that begins, but it is there. Needless to say, you kind of do get some kicks, punches, and the like, real basic stuff. And a choke out by the Thing. I almost wonder if Swamp Thing wasn't coming out in 87, maybe they were going for that. But Thing gets a victory here. Then we move to Vic Steamboat against Brian Adias. They're really trying with Steamboat. It's not really working, but they're trying anyway. And it's just not working because I don't think he's ready. I don't think he has enough experience to be in a territory. I think he needed more independent experience. I also think he's just a guy who, kind of needs more seasoning and someone to lead him through. Good arm drags and very basic moves from the beginning from Steamboat. Steamboat does manage to use hammerlocks, and then we see Adias go down to the mat using the front face lock and real basic maneuvers and the like. Adias tries to break things down more simply put, and that doesn't go quite the way he intends it to go. Kick to the midsection by Steamboat. Steamboat with kind of the drop of the knee onto the hamstring, for lack of a better terminology, and an Irish whip and duck of the head by Steamboat. Steamboat, certainly a guy who's looking for opportunities, certainly a guy who's looking for every sort of, I guess, go through that he can get, and that's kind of there. Kick and foot up in the face by Adias. Adias willing to do anything to get things going his way. He's also a guy who has undoubtedly a lot of extra power and influence because he's been around the territory for so long. He does manage to cheat and use cheating tactics to gain a victory, uses the ropes to get a victory. Kevin Von Erich cuts a promo about how he wants the world title back. No big surprise there. Real basic. Basically says Al Perez never beat him, and he wants to settle that up once and for all. Then, speaking of Al Perez, we see him and Tony Atlas in a match here next. Atlas who's still doing the Superman gimmick. Certainly not a guy who has fully caught on in the way that he could, I guess, or many people would expect him to. You know, that was with some headlock takeovers and judo-style throws early. Perez, obviously being outpowered, outmanned, he's willing to cheat. Side headlock takeovers, followed by a head scissors. Then we see shots by Perez, and then Perez working over the legs of his adversary. Breaks down the match much slower. They're trying to get more time out of this than is average. You know, kicks and punches to the legs. Perez trying to get that inverted spinning toe hold. Tony makes a comeback with a top rope elbow smash, but he's also limping around. Tony manages to hit a few headbutts, manages to get things going back in his general direction, but use of the ropes by Tony, and he kind of wraps the leg around the post. You know, Tony's going to do anything he can to get a victory over Perez. And I mean, this is really basic. They do the crotch against the steel post style maneuver. Perez has yet to find his way out of the situation, and Holiday, his manager, Perez's manager, out there, and you know, breaks the match up. The referee, I guess, disqualifies Tony for the groin shot. Then we go to Vince Apollo showing Gary Hart the new office of the New Age, which is the management group. Hart talks about liking the office. Hart talks about liking having footage and clippings and all this other stuff, and also talks about wanting to manage the thing. He says that he wants Vince Apollo to negotiate with Killer Tim Brooks for the contract of the thing. Then we go to the Cotton Bowl from a few weeks ago. Sean Simpson against Eric Emery for the light heavyweight championship. Steve Simpson alongside his brother. And, you know, Emery has been a guy who they originally brought in as a tag guy. That's changed over the last several weeks. But nice ride time by Simpson. And Emery brawl to the outside using the steel steps in the stadium. Actually, not fully steel, probably wooden steps would be more accurate. They are brawling around for several minutes out here, and nothing gets accomplished. I mean, the match doesn't even go very long at all, partially because they're still hyping the Von Erichs Around America tour. Emery rolls to the outside, to the stadium ground. They continue their brawl on the outside, and, you know, I assume double disqualification, double countout is your result there. You know, and that's, I mean, I guess that's okay. I wouldn't go that way in a stadium show myself, but I think they were trying to hope that the Simpson-Emery package progress could go over several months, if not several more weeks. But until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.